Welcome to the TDC Today Show communities. My name is Sue Roskopf. The Disability Channel, or TDC, is out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC is committed to providing quality digital media production services, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. TDC offers digital media production, video production, post-production, social media, and podcast creation, production, and support. TDC offers education and employment programming, which includes digital media courses to persons with disabilities who are unemployed and underemployed. TDC also offers community partnerships. Through partnerships and sponsorships, community partners and organizations become ability champions by supporting media created by and for people with disabilities and veterans. We are your USA team, and joining us today as my co-host is Michael Martin Humel. Michael is a writer, speaker, and podcaster who works to bridge the gap between disabled and able-bodied people. And Michael, as always, I'm so glad to have you here. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. And just want to check in if there's any updates in your corner of the world.
I had a couple of weeks ago, I had my one of my um shows that I do once a month, and then the next one is on the 26th of this month. And other than that, that's all that's going on.
Excellent. So September 26th will be the next one. And where do they find more info on that?
They can email me at michaelhummel@wheelsandwarriors.com. It's wheels, the letter N, and warriors.com. And
Excellent.
then either that or they can message me on Instagram. I'm on there at Wilson Warriors. They can find me there either way.
Awesome. Perfect. Definitely information people want to get. So glad you're here to share that with us.
Thank
Now,
you.
I'm going to go ahead and bring in our featured guest this evening. We are so excited to have Angela Nelson joining us. She equips, educates, and empowers families to learn financial literacy and to help them win the money game and build their wealth. She also empowers clients, families, and businesses with legal protection as a Legal Shield associate. And as a Wealth Wave financial professional and financial educator, she has joined their mission to help eradicate financial illiteracy. On top of that, she is also the host and leader at All Stars and Stripes Heroes Connection Networking Group. I am so happy to have you joining us here, Angela. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Oh, so happy to have you here that we can share all about what you're doing. I think I really want to start with where our connecting piece happened with the networking group. Networking works, right?
Yes.
We are, that is part of why we're here together now. So can you tell us a bit more about the organization that you have created?
Yes. So it is for anybody to come and do business to business networking. We meet on Mondays at 3 o'clock Central Time. And it's our main focus is geared towards military, veterans, first responders, their families, advocates, or anybody who wants to business networking with us. And I started the group because I have a huge military influence in my life. My parents were both Army veterans, met in the Army and married in the Army. And then my oldest son was a disabled Iraq War veteran, and he passed away in 2012 as from complications from his disability. And and then my two youngest sons joined and became Marines, and so super proud of them.
Excellent. And what makes the this group a little bit different than others that we often are attracted to for networking? What I know there's some unique pieces to this that I absolutely love.
Well, first of all, it's free to join us. Second of all, we start each meeting with a moment of silence, the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance. We each week have a hero highlight where someone in the group takes a minute or two to share with us or to highlight either their own service or somebody who they want to honor. And then everyone gets a minute to tell about themselves and their business so that we can all learn about one another. And we always have a 10-minute spotlight speaker, 10 to 15-minute spotlight speaker. And then I do end with announcements to share about anything that is pertinent to military, like if it's, National Purple Heart Day or anything related to the military and veterans. And also, don't want to leave out first responders as well. We have a lot of first responders who served and want to continue to serve on the front lines of our nation's streets here. So.
Excellent.
Which can be almost more dangerous at this time.
Yeah, that's definitely a group that we need to keep in our hearts and do what we can. In fact, with all of the folks that you just mentioned, they all are serving all of us, whether we really recognize it and see it ourselves or not. They are all doing things to protect us, to help us, to keep us safe. And I'm so glad that you've created this group that that can be remembered and honored, and that can be a focus here with this organization. So I'm so glad to hear about that. So when people want to hop in and find out more, how do they do that?
They can go to the scuttlebutt.club. It's THESCUTTLEBUTT.club. The name of the group is All Stars and Stripes Heroes Connection, but that is really long to type out. So I got a shorter name. And on there is a place to sign up to be a spotlight speaker. It has the Zoom registration link, also has a kind of a general agenda that we follow each week, so that you don't feel lost when you join us, and anybody is welcome.
Excellent.
As long as they're there for the right reasons, they're welcome.
Awesome. Well, and I know it's been a very well attended and well respected group, so I'm glad that you're able to provide that. You said it's Mondays at 3:00 Central to join in and participate and get to meet you in person.
Yeah. Well, sort of. It's online.
So, when I
Yes.
know you do so much with educating and teaching about finances, can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah. So I am an agent with a company called Wealth Wave, and we teach people how money works. We use a book that is written by Tom Matthews and Steve Siebold, called How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. The name hooked me right from the beginning. We also have a book called How Money Works for Women, Take Control or Lose It. And just recently, Tom Matthews' daughter and another young lady wrote a book called How Money Works for the Next Generation. And it's geared towards 18 to 40 years old, but I have a feeling anybody can learn from it. But yeah, so we teach things like the 7 money milestones. We teach all those things that they should have taught us in high school but didn't. And I'm not talking about things like just how to open a credit card or how to write a check, those kind of things. I'm talking about the things that the rich people have passed down from generation to generation, and that there's no reason anybody can't follow those guidelines and those steps to be able to build their own wealth and to build generational wealth and to leave a legacy.
That's huge. I think people don't know that that's a reality, that can happen for them. They just the knowing the rules of the game make all the difference. You can't
Yes.
win if you don't know what those rules are. So
That makes
that's
it
where
fun.
it's huge.
Yeah. It makes it fun too.
Michael, over to you.
I just had one question. I was curious for people who have made mistakes and haven't learned the rules and are late in their life, what's the biggest tip you would give them to put them on the right path to like just better their situation?
Well, anybody at any age can learn the things that we teach, and anybody can get help. Nowadays, a somebody who's 18 or 20 years old, if they make the right moves, by the time they're 30 or 40 at the latest, could be financially independent and wealthy if they do things right. And um, if we're later in life, well, maybe we haven't saved for retirement the way we should have, or maybe certain life tragedies have happened to affect our retirement, or maybe our children need to go to college and we don't know how to go about helping them to be able to afford that. Um, well, in just a matter of I have a 10-year plan. I was one of those. I kind of look at myself like, when you're watching football and you see the coach on the sideline and he's kind of got a pot belly and he couldn't run from one end of the field to the other without being completely out of breath, but yet he knows how to help people, to help his team to win games. And that's kind of how I look at it. It's all these things that I'm learning from mistakes that I made in my life. I want to turn around and help young people. And I want to help women my age who are coming out of domestic violence situations, or, having gone through a death, or a lot of the tragedies that land us in these positions that we find ourselves in later in life that we didn't expect to be able to help them, and to be able to take those things that I've learned and turn around and help them the way somebody else helped me. The How Many Works for Women Take Control or Lose It is written by Kim Scholar and Sharon Lecter. You might have heard of her. She's written and worked a lot with the Rich Dad Poor Dad stuff. She's got a lot of books out. But anyways, Kim Scholar did a presentation on the How Many Works for Women's Take Control or Lose It. And it is what drew me to work with this company. And I just recently got to meet her in person and actually got her to sign my book, and was so excited to meet one of my mentors face to face.
That's great.
That's awesome. That's huge. Being able to make connections like that. That's like with what you do with the networking group, and being able to connect with people there, and having people that you can look to and go to have that resource is absolutely huge. That is a golden piece to hang on to someone like you who has the knowledge, and that you want to share that knowledge and help people win and succeed. I absolutely love that and applaud all your efforts for what you do.
Well, um, money can't buy happiness, but it sure does fix a lot of problems.
Well said.
I can't tell you how many times, things in my life, if I'd made the right decisions, previously, I wouldn't have those problems. So, yeah.
It doesn't make you necessarily happy, but it definitely releases a lot of stress.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true.
Very much so.
Yeah. And one thing I also love about the office I work out of, and most of the people that I have worked with in my company, is it's faith, family, and then business. We really focus on those in that order as well. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely we need to give God the credit where we should. We wouldn't be able to do anything without his blessing, for sure. But he also doesn't want to see us make mistakes. He wants us to, the story of the talents in the Bible, the where he gave the three men money, and the one went and he put the money to work, and the other person, put it to work but not as much, and then the other person just buried it. And so many people are, you think that it's the I'll say this, it's the love of money, not money. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. And uh, the thing is that a person who is poor can have that problem even more than someone who's rich. um, they can be so tight with everything that they get. And, I mean, I hope you don't mind me getting on a pedestal here, but, it's, um, the Bible tells us that he who is faithful with the small things, that he will make masters of many. And so I'm not quoting that exactly, but you get the idea, so yeah, it's really important that we take care of the money that goes through our hands. We are stewards of that money.
I love that. Thank you so much for saying that, for sharing that. And I know with this whole concept of money and this conversation, we do have another guest joining us that is also in that same kind of realm with what he does as well. I have Shane Loftman joining us as well from FQ3C, and I'm wondering, Shane, are you there? Would you like to come on in and join the conversation?
Sure, and it's actually not what I do anymore.
Ah,
But I was in that realm for a couple of decades, and started actually when I was 18 years old. So
Wow.
money was a passion and led me to leading the entire Eastern Seaboard for a Fortune 100 company, and where I was training all the people with their licenses, on going to the trading floor and the 401k and everything behind the scenes, as well as, of course, in the front lines as well. So very much my background, but now I really found my passion in human behavioral tracking and analytics. So all that expertise that I gained from the financial world, plus also helping to start over 30 different companies, led me to being really passionate to figure out what's the actual formula for success. And because you have lots of formulas in finance, you have lots of formulas in marketing and sales and everything else, but you're always led with this carrot, with everyone saying phrases like consistency is key. It's like, if you really sit down and think about it, consistency is maybe 10 to 15% of the total probability of your success at succeeding at anything. Because you can be successfully, consistently making a sandwich wrong or making a sandwich with poison. Consistency is key to be successful. No, that also can kill you. uh, so so we really actually set out and figured out how to quantify human emotion at the individual level. And so we really just have been having fun in the mergers and acquisitions space, sales space, health and wellness space, helping people with PTSD and autism. And we're growing, and we're reaching even more corners of the world with the gold standard for goal creation, and also we're going to become the gold standard for tracking human behavior as a general statement. So that's very exciting for us. But thank you for having me.
that is very exciting. So if people have questions, if they want to learn more about what you're doing, where can they go and find that?
Absolutely. FQ3C.com, nice and simple. We have an AI assistant where there's a pop-up. You can click on it. It goes to a GPT bot that was trained, and you can ask it questions like, how can you help me? And literally, it will walk you through whatever circumstance you may be in. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner to a person who's struggling with potentially suicide ideation. It's able to actually go through a lot of different processes and show you where is it the FQ3C may be a fit for you, and even comes up with recommendations for potentially people that might be the right connection for you to speak with. So we're very excited for that bot. Been very, very helpful. And yeah, FQ3C, that's FQ, the number 3, letter C.com.
Excellent. And Michael or Angela, if you have anything you want to add in, by all means, feel free to hop in.
Michael's on mute.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Well, I am going to let everybody
I'm
know
sorry. I
that.
don't have any questions right now, but if I will, I'll come in.
Awesome. But I did want to give a shout out to Angela as well. I've actually never had the chance to really see her in another setting, but I've been a member of the Stars and Stripes for I think like 2 months now. And the thing that caught my eye when I went in there was the fact that they did the Pledge of Allegiance. And I was like, you know what? This brings me back to when I was a kid when we were taught to have this respect for this amazing freedom that we are provided in this country, and how we were, providing a pledge to our country. And it brings me back to when it used to be the saying of don't ask what you can get from your country, but ask what you can do for your country. Or I should say, don't ask what you, how's that phrase actually go now that I'm thinking about it?
Don't ask what your country can do for you, but
You
what you
ask what you can do for your country. Yeah. So
John
I think,
Kennedy.
yeah, Kennedy. So I think that was just awesome. I felt that type of power come through within the community and the group that's there. And so I love going back there whenever I have a chance.
we do have a bunch of amazing people, you included. And I know that we talked about earlier, our first spotlight speaker was uh, uh,
Brian.
Project Die Hard. Brian Gibson
Yeah.
was our first spotlight speaker, and yeah, and it just launched us into just a wonderful start. We have spotlight speakers every week that there's so much to learn from them, and we try to help support them in their businesses, and we encourage everybody to have one-to-ones and network. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Networking
and
works.
yeah, so I have a question for you. When you have for Shane, if you have a client or a contact like myself that has like alphabet soup in their life of PTSD and ADD. I wasn't blessed enough to get the H in there for the hyperactivity part, but I do have the ADD, which is passed to my son as well, my youngest. But anyways, how do you help? Like, what can you do for those people?
Yeah, so we have actually clients who specialize in acute to moderate behavioral challenges. And so they have this expertise with what PTSD actually, uh, we'll say, as a preliminary level requires. But the challenge a lot of times with anybody, it doesn't matter if it's PTSD or somebody's going through, they might be a compulsive liar, it doesn't really matter. They need to have a parameter that's set for them that they commit to. And a commitment's one of the most challenging things and scary things for most people. And it turns out that PTSD has a root where because it's rooted in this fear of this trigger of what's happened historically, then when you're going to decide to actually move through it, move past it, you being able to be held accountable and not being able to run, not being able to blame, not being able to do anything, plus also being able to have a tracking mechanism that shows you are improving. Because that's really what a lot of people in PTSD are dealing with is number one, they don't know where they're going. They're running, chasing their tail, banging their head against the wall. They feel like they're um, maybe an analysis paralysis, or they could even be just spinning their wheels, whatever. Well, it turns out that that's where the parameter first has to be placed, and that's where the commitment and that's where the accountability comes in. But it's not about accountability from external, it's actually about accountability to yourself. And we in our method actually create, it's sneaky, we don't tell people this, but I'm going to tell you this, it's actually miniature contracts subconsciously that people then set with themselves. And then when you bring in a person of authority and leadership into it, it solidifies that contract. And then you now have to also put down your behaviors for who and what you are today. Once we capture all of that, you you can't run anymore. And when you can't run, you have to come to the truth of what is. And that's either you're going to say yes or no. And that's the hardest thing for most people to get to is I'm going to say yes or no. And that's a huge aspect of healing from anything. It doesn't matter what trauma it is. And then with the tracking mechanism, because we've actually quantified human behavior down to the emotional level and also your thoughts, we now can say, hey, listen, if Angela's having a 3% increase in the thoughts or the frequency of the thoughts going better, we can actually track that. So it means that if you feel like you're not doing well, you actually can go and look and say, no, I have improved. It's a lot like losing weight. You don't feel like you've lost 30 pounds. Yeah, but if you go on the scale and you see that you've at least lost 5, okay, I'm getting there. I'm able to move forward. And that 1 pound a day adds up over time. So our tool is really a tool to be added to a professional. And that's where the magic really happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, and I know I do have one more guest in the wings here that's going to be coming on in to join us as well. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her in. And I know we got to highlight one of her books, but Marianne of Waikiki is here. And if you want to go ahead and just remind us what you all do while I bring up the visual of what it is. So go ahead, Marianne. So glad you're here.
Aloha, and thank you so much, Sue, for hosting this show. So welcome our new guests. I'm Marianne Ambrose. I go by Marianne of Waikiki. It's my author name and book signing name. The Acts of Kindness series are written for animation movies with sign language characters and a soundtrack by Lucy and the Perfect Wave. For ocean cleanup of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California, for anti-bullying, and we just finished the book Climate Change for Leon McLaughlin Clean Water Foundation. Now we're on the Social Emotional Learning Curriculum, Department of Education, Hawaii. And I have new book trailers now. And through the Happy Neighborhood projects, I met everybody. And Angelina, again, I met Lee Rosenblum, who I read the book, How Money Works. We sailed and read it. So it went from United States to Mexico. We brought it over here and read it. And it's a great book. And now we have these books to share. And the trailers really take it away. So just want to highlight, too, it's the new gentleman's name, Fosk.
Shane?
Who's our new Shane? Oh,
Shane,
okay,
yeah.
great. Shane, so also these books too, you're talking about the autistic community. I've worked with the deaf community, but sign language is a solution, especially for social spatial distancing. Children who use sign language tend to have a higher IQ and they tend to cry less when they learn baby sign language. So this is a nonverbal way of communication of learning the ABC, ASL, finger spelling alphabet. And when we created a YouTube channel, now these are all folk manus puppets, okay? I can put my hands and gloves in there. I can put my hand in the glove puppet, and her name is Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee, for Harry, the hard of hearing rabbit, and Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, which is me sharing my role as being an interpreter for a deaf man over in Hawaii. Well, he lost his hearing at age 8, but this has been an inspirational story and message of peace, love, happiness, and thanks. So if Sue, you want to take it away, the AI new book trailer shares it, but let's get it out there to the autistic community as well.
I love that.
Rabbit acts of kindness no bully. Harry, the hard of hearing. Rabbit attends a special school in Hawaii where he makes new friends and learns sign language and finger spelling. One day, on his way home, 2 bullies tease and frighten him. In a panic, Harry dashes to the ocean and jumps in. He is rescued by a kind turtle named Tico and safely delivered to Rabbit Island. Harry must summon all of his courage to find his way back. With the help of others who are also stranded, he builds a magical boat and his team undertakes a heroic voyage home. Together they face the bullies and arrive just in time for spectacular rainbow birthday party. Created by Marianne of Waikiki, just for you. Do you have a brave heart? You can learn the fingerspelling ASL alphabet. Visit the Acts of Kindness series YouTube channel. Meet Chelsea the courageous sign language chicken and Eve, the fingerspelling bumblebee, Get your copy of the coloring book today. Play the game app and pledge to spread kindness everywhere and rock your style with our exclusive Rabbit Acts of Kindness No Bullying t-shirt. Get your copy of Rabbit Act of Kindness No Bully today. Available on Amazon and actoffkindnessseries.com. All U.S. classroom teachers can request copies of the books, coloring books, and Folkminist puppets for every student via donorschoose.org.
Excellent. That gives you a taste of what she is all about with actsofkindnessseries.org and the amazing books. That's just one of 4 that's been written by Marianne so far. And she also has coloring books to go with that. So again, actsofkindnessseries.org to find out more information there. So I'm going to just go around the room here real quick. Any take-home message that you want to share with everyone, and feel free again to remind us of your website and how we can reach out to you. Michael, I'll go ahead and start with you. Any last words tonight?
I just had no more last words. I just enjoyed the ability to speak to each of you and hear your stories, and I'm glad to know what you're doing. But I'm good.
Excellent. Angela, how about you?
Oh, this has been awesome. And I was going to say that I do not charge to help people. I do free credit repair consultations. I also teach them the things in these books that I referred to. All you have to do is go to my website, which is starship-solutions.com. And you can, there's a place on there to book an appointment with me, and there's links on there. And there's also a link for a quiz, a financial literacy quiz that you can do, and that will send your information to me as well and have a place to start from, kind of like stepping on that scale like Shane was talking about. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on. And don't forget to come visit on Mondays at 3 o'clock at the All Stars and Stripes Heroes Connection, and you can find that link at the scuttlebutt.club, THESCUTTLEBUTT.club, not com, .club.
Excellent. Angela, this has been an absolute pleasure to have you with us tonight. And Shane, I'm going to send it over to you next.
The word that came to mind to sum up, I think what we all really care about here, it's freedom. Whether it's freedom from finances, freedom from those struggles that you might be having with those challenges, disabilities, or if it's freedom from the mental aspect of yourself that's holding you back. Really, that's all we're here to do is we're here to help you become free from yourself so you can go and achieve anything that you possibly could put your mind to. And that also includes the kids. So I was just loving the fact that all of us are tackling a different sector, a different section. And if you're listening to this and if you're watching this, we hope that you are able to sense that from all of us who are here today, because we went through our paths to make it so that you can have an easier time, a faster time of getting through what you're going through right now and overcoming those challenges to becoming financially free and independent, to becoming part of an amazing community with Michael, or making it so your kids are not going to be chained by the future challenges that are on the horizon for them and for us, being able to take hold of your goals, your dreams, aspirations with the FQ3C model. So speaking of, for FQ3C, we would love for you to interact with our AI assistant. Let it tell you what it can do for you. It's that easy. FQ3C.com. Go down, check for the assistant, and have fun, talk, and figure out what it is that we can do for you from that side, as we are currently the gold standard for goal creation, and we will be the gold standard very, very soon for also behavioral tracking and ultimately winning.
Excellent. Shane, thank you so much for being here with us tonight as well. And Marianne, sending over to you for a final word.
Thank you so much again. Nice to meet everybody, and so go out and play is our tagline. Again, it's back to school season, and all classroom teachers can get copies of the books from donorschoose.org. That's donorschoose.org, or you can visit the website, www.actsofkindnessseries.com. So go out and play. Aloha.
Excellent. You guys are amazing. I absolutely love this. All the things that we get to do together and to have so many wonderful people in one place. That is what this is, the TDC Today Show communities, and what a community indeed. I am grateful to each of you for what you have and what you offer to all of us here. And again, for all of us here with the Today Show communities, we thank you.